James Orengo is a man who has outlived coups, detentions without trial, and 2 authoritarian regimes. A freedom fighter, a senior counsel, a governor, and now a possible victim of poisoning.
Breaking news, allegedly James Orengo is critically ill and he was poisoned by King of Nyanza, allegedly.
In June 2025, Orengo walked into State House in Nairobi for a private meeting with President William Ruto. He hasn't been seen in public since then. No interviews, no events, no official statements, just silence. Then comes the rumors, the whispers, the Twitter posts, allegations that Orengo was poisoned, potentially with cyanide-laced alcohol, and that it was not an accident, it was payback. Payback for speaking out, payback for defying a political dynasty, and for refusing to play along with corrupt county tender deals. This might be Kenya's most alarming political cover-up in years. And if you think it sounds like a conspiracy theory, wait until you see the evidence.
Napenda sana kusema ukweli. Kweli, nitasema. Hata kama Ruto angekuwa hapa, nitasema. Hata kama Moi alikuwepo, tulikuwa nasema. Hiyo na mjue hatukukuwa na mtu mkali kuliko Kenyatta. Mimi nimefanya kazi na Kenyatta wakati nilikuwa university, nikaenda kwa bunge. Kenyatta akafa, mimi Orengo bado niko. Akaje Moi 23 years tukihangaika hapa Bungoma. Moi akafa, mimi Orengo bado niko. Kibaki akaja, Kibaki akafanya kazi, Kibaki akaenda, mimi nipo. Uhuru akaja, Orengo bado yuko pale pale. Sasa Ruto yuko, tutaona nani ataondoka, mimi nitakuwa pale pale.
You see, James Angry Bob Orengo isn't just another politician. He's someone who rose to fame in the 70s and 80s as a fearless defender for human rights, standing up against the Moi dictatorship at the time when doing so could literally get you killed. He was one of the 7 bearded sisters, a group of outspoken MPs who became a thorn in the side of Kanu's regime. In 1980, he became the youngest MP in Kenya. He was arrested multiple times, exiled, detained, tortured, but he never backed down. Fast forward to 2022, Orengo is elected governor of Siaya County, the stronghold of Raila. And suddenly, he's not just an elder statesman, he's a threat to corrupt tender cartels, a threat to the Odinga family dynasty, and maybe a threat to the very people who he once fought alongside. It all starts on June 5th, 2025. Multiple news outlets, including the Star Kenya, confirmed that Orengo attended a high-level meeting at State House with President Ruto and other Siaya County leaders. This was no ordinary sit-down. Remember, prior to this, Orengo had expressed himself opposing the move for ODM to work with UDA. Sources say the meeting was tense, that some leaders reportedly wanted to bypass county tender procedures in exchange for development pledges. Orengo, known for being outspoken and principled, refused to play along. That night, he allegedly drank alcohol that was provided at the venue. Within days, he vanished from the public eye. No public appearances, no county engagement, not even a pre-recorded video to calm the rising panic. Then came the Twitter posts, one that suggested that Orengo had been poisoned with cyanide, a silent fast-acting toxin, the same one used in multiple political assassinations around the world. And in Kenya, the history of silencing powerful critics runs deep. To understand why someone wants Orengo out of the way, you have to look at what he was fighting behind the scenes. Oburu Odinga, Raila Odinga's elder brother. The rivalry goes way back.
Personally, I am a very truthful man. And I'm pained. I come from Siaya. When my own governor stands up and says that, and he's annoyed. I don't know annoyed with who. He's annoyed. And he says that he just wants to talk the truth. The truth. What truth?
In 2022, Orengo ran for governor and refused to support Oburu Odinga's preferred candidates. He also allegedly refused to align with Oburu's political puppet, former governor Cornel Rasanga. The reason? Tenders. Billions of shillings in Siaya County procurement deals. Orengo wanted transparency. Oburu wanted loyalty. The tension allegedly exploded when Orengo began auditing major projects and quietly blocking contracts tied to Oburu's allies. Even worse, he sidelined Oburu's son, Jaoko Oburu, who had ambitions to run for Senate in 2027. This wasn't just a political rivalry. This was a fight over money, legacy, and power. Then enter Charles Owino, former police spokesperson known for defending extrajudicial killings during protest, and now the man being groomed to take over Siaya County. In 2024, a leaked internal police report documented over 120 deaths from extrajudicial executions. Owino defended many of them publicly, even praising the officers involved. Now he wants to be governor. Sources close to ODM suggest that Oburu and other power players in Siaya see Owino as the ideal replacement, loyal, obedient, and willing to crush dissent. Orengo, on the other hand, was unpredictable, independent, and worst of all, he couldn't be bought. Let's talk about the poison. The alleged claim that Orengo was poisoned with cyanide-laced alcohol may sound far-fetched, but it isn't without precedent. In 1942, at Oregon State Hospital, a mislabeled incident led to 47 people dying after ingesting food contaminated with roach poison, cyanide to be specific. Closer to home, Kenya has a long history of political motivated killings. In 1969, Tom Mboya, a rising Luo leader, was gunned down in Nairobi. Many believe Jomo Kenyatta was involved, fueling a bitter split with Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. And in 2012, George Saitoti's helicopter crashed under mysterious circumstances. His body was found with signs of poisoning. And now there's Orengo, a vocal critic, a threat to both national regime and the regional dynasty, disappears after a State House meeting. According to political science literature, when corruption becomes entrenched in weak democracies, political violence becomes a tool of power. A 2007 study by Nicholas van de Waal shows how patronage systems in Africa often disguise themselves in tender wars while masking deeper elite rivalries. A 2020 Journal of Democracy report reveals that political assassinations in transactional democracies disproportionately target opposition figures and internal dissenters. So, if you think Orengo is just sick, think again. His disappearance fits the pattern: high-level meeting, internal party conflict, economic interest, silence, then unverified reports of cyanide poisoning. It might not be proven in court, but it's enough to make everyone ask serious questions. So what happens now? Charles Owino is positioning himself for 2027. Oburu's son, Jaoko, is eyeing the Senate seat, and the Odinga dynasty may be reshaping itself without Orengo. Meanwhile, the people of Siaya and Kenyans at large are left wondering, what happened to one of the last principled leaders? Was he punished for standing up, or was he silenced for refusing to share the loot? Or worse, was he betrayed by the very people he once called comrades? This is not just a story about one man. This is about the price of dissent in a broken system. It's about how power, when threatened, can turn deadly. And it's about what happens when the lights go out, when the cameras stop rolling, and a nation just shrugs its shoulders. Was he poisoned? Maybe. But what's more terrifying is that nobody is surprised anymore. Subscribe.